What is going on, guys? In today's video, we're gonna be looking at and reacting to Son of God 2 teaser. Apparently these two guys are coming back. Um, so yeah, let's do this. If you're new to the channel, drop it a like, drop it a sub. We're trying to hit 400 subscribers, so come on. Here we go. I loved this movie, and with so many new movies coming out, there's The Passion of the Christ, the prequel that's coming out in 2025. I don't know if it's coming out this year. I think it'll be like next year, but I can't wait for that movie as well.
It's finally time for John, the last surviving follower of Jesus Christ, to make a comeback in part 2. What does the ending of the first installment
Oh, he's the last survivor?
mean for this new chapter? We've got all the juicy details and exciting updates on what's coming next. Stay
Really?
tuned to find out how this sequel will unfold and what it means for John's journey. For those who might not be familiar, Son of God is a 2014 epic biblical film directed by Christopher Spencer and produced by Mark Burnett and Roma Downey. The film brings the life of Jesus Christ to the big screen and is adapted from the 10-hour miniseries The Bible, which aired on the History Channel in March 2013. Following the movie, there was also a TV series called AD The Bible Continues. Released in the US and Canada on February 28, 2014, Son of God received a warm reception from Christian publications but faced criticism from mainstream reviewers who found it too dull. Despite the mixed reviews, it was a box office hit, earning $70 million against its $22 million budget, and became the 7th highest grossing Christian film ever. Notably, it was also the first Christian film released by 20th Century Fox. When considering a sequel to Son of God, it's crucial to remain faithful to the Bible's narrative while expanding upon the established storylines. The first film concluded with John's exile and Jesus' promise to return, providing a solid foundation for part 2. Here's how the story could unfold, ensuring adherence to biblical accounts and respecting the theological significance of the source material. John's life in exile offers a profound opportunity to delve into the early Christian experience. According to tradition, John was exiled to Patmos, a barren island, where he later wrote the book of Revelation. Part 2 could explore John's daily life in exile, depicting his struggles and
What's that, guys? It is hot, but I'm gonna put this on and see what happens. I don't think I'm gonna edit this video, guys. I'm not gonna edit this video, but I am gonna put a little thing at the top. So
spiritual reflections. This setting would be perfect for conveying themes of faith and endurance as John contemplates the events he witnessed and the teachings he received from Jesus. John's visions and revelations on Patmos could serve as a central plot point. The book of Revelation, with its apocalyptic imagery and prophecies, provides a rich source for exploring the future of the Christian faith. The film could depict John receiving these visions, providing a dramatic and visually compelling portrayal of the text's symbolic elements. This approach
see, I would always like near Easter time, whenever these movies about the Bible, about Jesus, when I was young, and still to this day, it's just that scene, this scene where Jesus was being crucified. I could not eat anything. If I was in the room while watching that, I'd barf, because that is just like that is so much blood, and that is just disgusting. Like I love Jesus, I do, but the movie itself, like seeing it like that, it's just so gory. And while eating something, it just wants to. It makes me want to. I don't know. It makes me gag because I I don't know. I have a gag reflex when I see blood and stuff when I'm eating. So this scene, kind of when I'm eating, I can't be in the room while watching this movie. It's not because I don't like Jesus. I I'm Catholic. I love Jesus, but it's most to do with the gore and the blood while I'm eating food. So that's what I'm trying to say.
And visually compelling portrayal of the text's symbolic elements. This for a deeper exploration of eschatological themes. Jesus' promise to return can be interpreted in various ways. The film could take a literal approach, showing a miraculous event that fulfills this promise. This could involve a dramatic scene where Jesus appears to John or other key characters, reinforcing the promise of redemption and the continuation of his teachings. Alternatively, the return could be metaphorical, represented through the spread of Christianity and the influence of Jesus' teachings on the world. The return of Jesus, or the fulfillment of his promises, could be reflected through the experiences of early Christians. Part 2 could show the spread of Christianity, focusing on figures like Paul the Apostle, who played a significant role in establishing early Christian communities. This storyline would highlight the growth of the church and the challenges faced by early believers. Part 2 could depict the trials and tribulations of the early church, including persecution by Roman authorities and internal conflicts. The New Testament, especially the Acts of the Apostles and the Epistles, provides accounts of the early church's struggles. This could include the persecution of Christians.
I wonder what the second one's gonna be about. Is it gonna be about John, like Paul or John or whatever? Who's the last surviving apostle?
Establishment of churches and the missionary journeys of apostles like Paul and Peter. These elements would help illustrate the expansion of Jesus' message and the endurance of his followers. Miracles performed by the apostles and the spread of Christianity to various regions could be central to the plot. The film could highlight the powerful works and signs performed by early Christians, reflecting the continued influence of Jesus' ministry. The missionary journeys of Paul, in particular, offer compelling stories of spreading the gospel and establishing new Christian communities across the Roman Empire. John's teachings and writings insert John doctrine that would include biblical could involve references and symbols, particularly from the Old Testament and Revelation. This could involve, and the early church could add such a film appealing to modern audiences, while staying true to biblical Jesus' integrating elements from the continue the story in a meaningful and respectful manner. Integrating elements from the book of Revelation and the early church's experiences will provide a compelling narrative that honors the original film's legacy and the spiritual depth of the biblical text. Jesus' promise to return, it's plausible that some characters could return in Part 2. The narrative could be expanded while staying true to the established story and the actors who portrayed these iconic figures. Diogo Morgado, who played Jesus, could return in a few ways. While Jesus is portrayed as having ascended into heaven in the first film, Morgado could appear in flashbacks or visionary scenes. This approach would allow the film to explore pivotal about the future. In the narrative, Christians, Caiaphas, though of reflection on the church's persecution, might be referenced to illustrate ongoing challenges for the disciples of a significant leadership, exile on Patmos, providing insights into the early Christian period. Simon Kuhn's teaching among Jewish leaders. Kuhn's might return in flashbacks or as part of discussions reflecting on Nicodemus's evolving understanding of Jesus' message. Part 2 of Son of God could continue to explore the early Christian era by integrating these characters in ways that respect their biblical roles and contribute to the story's development. Their appearances, whether through flashbacks, visions, or discussions, would provide continuity with the good narrative.
Wow, John Wick Part 5. Alrighty, guys. That's gonna do it for today's video. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like. We almost at 400 subscribers. Please subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. And may God be with you.